Hi, welcome to the first ever roadmap video for Lost Ark here in the West. I'm Roxx, the product community manager for the game, and today I'm going to be guiding the conversation a little bit. I have some very special members of the Amazon Games team and the Lost Ark team here with me today. But before we get started with everything, let's kind of get to know everyone. So, Andy, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Andy Lin. I'm the product manager for Lost Ark West. My team primarily works with the in-game store. We manage the in-game economy, and we work with franchise to determine the content scheduling and roadmap for the game.
So would you say working with the in-game economy, that means you also work with bots?
Yes, I do work with bots. I work with a lot of internal teams to deal with the botting issue, and we've made a lot of strides towards solving that, I'd like to think.
All right, next up, Soomin.
Okay, I'm Soomin. I'm the franchise leader for Lost Ark West. My team is working with other internal teams as well as the Smilegate RPG team to determine the upcoming roadmaps and the future content directions. So I'm going to present and share more details about the August update as well as some important changes.
All right, that was in fact actually Soomin Park, also known by his alternate ego, Soomin Park. Next up we have someone who is a little bit hardcore.
How's it going? I'm Henry. I'm the head of editorial at Amazon Games. Me and my team work on the communication and community content plans for our games. When I'm not working on Lost Ark, I'm playing it a lot. I'm here to talk about some of the cool content we have coming up over the next 4 months, since I think usually I write the roadmap. So this time I'm just talking at you instead.
We're really excited all to be here and talk about the roadmap with you all, not only because this time we'll be sharing the content that's coming up and getting excited about it, but also sharing with you why some of that is, why things are coming when they are, the changes we're making to the game, and what to expect. We're really excited to have an open conversation with the community about this. But remember, Lost Ark is a live service game, which means plans can shift and change. What we're presenting here today is our plans for the rest of the year, but things could always end up changing a little bit. All right, that does it for our intro, and with that, let's dive right in. Soomin, I know you have a lot of August updates to share with everyone. Do you want to get into those a little bit?
Sure, I'm very excited to announce some of the new additions in the August update. So in August update, we already announced a few things already in the last announcement. So the first one is Aeromancer, and the second, we have Sonabel raid, and the third one is Akan Legion raid. So those contents are great, but in addition to that, I'd like to add a few more exciting changes, especially it will address user fatigue and homework, and as well as some of the other changes as well.
So user fatigue and homework have been really big topics in the community. Do you want to get into kind of those first?
Sure. The first change is the guardian rate change. So we are going to reduce the guardian rate, number of the guardian rate you need to do from twice a day to once a day. So that's a big change, as well as we are going to drop a lot more rewards from that. And also the second one is the Chaos Dungeon. The Chaos Dungeon, I know a lot of players are requesting to reduce the number of Chaos Dungeons per day. It's currently twice. So instead of making it less, we truly believe that this content is great, but the actual, the length of the playing time or the actual reward from the gameplay is not great, or it's not enough based on your playing time. So what we are going to change is we are going to make some of the AI change on the monster side. So it's going to reduce the playing time 25%. And also we are going to drop a lot more rewards as well as the gold through the gameplay. So that will make players more fun during the gameplay. It feels more fun and more rewarding. So that's going to be the changes included to reduce the user fatigue. And the other one is the gatekeeping issue we are trying to address. So the gatekeeping is very challenging issue for the newer players, because you have to have a full set of the cards and things like that. So what we are going to make changes in the August update is we are going to add a lot more card drops in the various raid and the dailies, as well as we are going to make the wandering merchant more frequently than the previous. So it's going to be much easier to buy and get the card from many different sources.
Yeah, that'll be really great. I know you both have like full rosters of characters that you were doing a lot of dailies on. How are you feeling about those changes?
Pretty good. I think I'm excited to do one Guardian a day. I think it'll make it feel a little bit more climactic because like a lot of the bosses are like pretty fun to do, but then killing them again, I think it'll just be like a cool experience to just get in there, get a fight, it'll be cool.
I'm pretty far behind on my dailies, to be honest with you, so this is a very welcome change. I think one of the most frustrating parts about Chaos Dungeons is sometimes you clear out a bunch of the mobs and you have to run around the map and find all the ones that you haven't found. And so I think the AI changes will make it easier for the mobs to come to you. It'll increase their aggro range. And so you'll have to do less running around, and that's why the playtime will be reduced.
Yeah. Plus, like, getting a card from a Chaos Dungeon, like, that'll be pretty exciting.
That doesn't happen very often right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. It feels really good to be reducing kind of the dailies and the kind of amount of effort going into them while also getting more rewards out of it. It's like positive changes from both sides, so I'm definitely really excited about that.
By the way, this is not the final change, the Chaos Dungeon update. This one is the first phase of the change. So we are going to review the user feedbacks as well as the user metrics inside the game. And then we are going to make multiple other changes from now on.
Yeah, no, that's really good to hear too. And like I mentioned earlier, I know players have been really kind of honed in on this topic for a while. So it's great to know too that while we're making these changes right now, we're definitely open to more in the future and we will be listening. Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. So that's a lot of changes coming in August that we think will really kind of help players feel better and alleviate some of that fatigue. Are there any other changes that we can maybe have players look forward to in the future for just kind of generally making the game feel a little bit less draining?
Sure. So we are constantly working on some of these changes we promised in the letter in April. So those are another batch of the new coming changes in August, but we are also working on other changes. One of the things we are working on now is the Legion Commander changes. So we are going to adjust some of the difficulties and the actual playing time and things like that for Legion Commanders pretty soon. We don't have the date yet, but we are going to reduce some of the gates for this reason rate. One of the things we are working on is the Brejshaja gate. So Brejshaja, we are going to see some of the gate removals to reduce the playing time, and also we are going to drop a lot more other rewards, including gold and cards. So the previously mentioned the card updates or so more card drops from Wandering Merchant and some other locations. That's also going to help players to get more accessible to the Brejshaja content.
Cool, great. Yeah, it's a lot of making sure players feel like their time is valued and that they're being rewarded for the work they're doing.
For the card drops and Legion raids, are those specific to the Legion Commander cards that you get from each of those raids, or are they all legendary cards? Because sometimes you get one at the final gate.
So it's not finalized yet.
Okay.
But we are going to share more details with the release note. Yeah, the Brejshaja change is still under development, and we are constantly checking the user metrics. So it depends on how difficult for the players or how long does it take. And there are many different metrics we want to check. And then we are going to decide which gate will be removed. But it's still under development. Okay,
so, Andy, if there's a certain gate you don't like, you kind of know what you have to do to get that one removed. Sacrifice your roster.
Brejshaja gate 5. Actually, I've already been hard at work making sure the win rate on that gate is very low.
Wiping your party every time at that gate. Take one for the team. Thank you, Andy.
Yay. I will make sure we are going to bring that update as soon as it's released in Korea. So there will be no gap or almost no gap in between these two updates.
Yeah, we definitely don't have a date for when that is quite yet because like you said, it's under development.
Correct.
But we're going to work to get that as soon as possible, it sounds like.
Yeah, you heard it first from Soomin Park. It's coming fast.
I promise.
All right, before we get into September content and too far ahead in the future, I think region merges is one more thing we should touch on because those are coming up really quick.
Sure. The region merge was announced already in a different article we already announced. And it's coming in August. Also, it's coming on August 30th. So it's very exciting because a lot of players requested this. And so we are going to merge EU West to EU Central.
Yeah, we'll kick that off at the end of August, and hopefully there's some positive changes there. And then, like Soomin said, we'll keep reviewing for other regions and servers I know that players are interested in seeing merged.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have some more communications coming up because we know some players have rosters on both regions in EU. So we'll work to make sure that players have full understanding of what to expect and how the merge will work in a more detailed article later on.
And lastly, in August, I'm very excited to announce that the 2023 swimsuit skins will be zooming over to Lost Ark West. We'll be getting these skins shortly after Korea.
I think this is one of the first times we're going to get skins so quickly as they're like brand new in Korea. It's pretty close, it feels like.
It's been released just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Those are really fresh, really new. I know they're really cool skins, so excited to see those in the game.
And it's super hot this year, so it's going to be a really good gift for everyone.
The heat waves have been bad, so definitely get those in before the end of summer. You will not have to wait till the next summer. Sweet. I think that covers everything that's kind of coming in August, and with that, let's dive right into September.
Taking a step back, a lot of heroes have come and gone from the shores of Arcasia, and a lot of them, through surveys, social media, and forums, have expressed interest in returning to the game. And we've talked to a lot of these players and asked them what's stopping them from coming back. We found 3 major themes. 1, there's a lot of bots. 2, the rate of progression is too slow. And 3, they're worried about getting gatekept from all the endgame content. So let me tell you about how we're dealing with some of those issues. First of all, we've made a lot of progress against the bots. We've instituted machine learning algorithms that detect them very quickly. And the number of bots in the game as a percentage of active users is the lowest it's ever been. Second of all, Smilegate West and Amazon have collaborated to make a bunch of honing changes and changes to the vertical and horizontal progression in the game that makes it a lot easier for your character to be endgame ready. Finally, gatekeeping. We think the best way to deal with gatekeeping is for a group of players to independently start fresh and play together and go through the game as a group. And this way, there won't be any conflict with the players who are more progressed in the later parts of the game. So I'm excited to announce that we'll be adding jumpstart servers to every region of the game, including Europe, South America, North America. And these players will have an isolated server that has an independent auction house and party finder system. So there will be no busing or gatekeeping from the other regions. And they'll have additional resources granted to them on top of the HyperExpress Mokoko Pass that takes them to 1540. There'll be an event shop that's exclusive to the Jumpstart server where players can exchange event currency to get vertical progression materials like honing materials, as well as horizontal progression materials like card packs. There will also be boosts to XP gain, so we think players can make it to 1580 very quickly and begin enjoying all the endgame content.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really exciting to be able to kind of create a new space where we can bring players back into the game that maybe haven't played in a long time, only played a little bit at launch and then dropped out of the game, or have never really experienced Arcasia at all, and kind of put them in a new space and have them come up together. I think that's really important too, just in terms of Lost Ark being an MMO. It's a new space for them to kind of play together, play through content at the same time, and kind of all go on that same journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andy, you mentioned the Super Mokoko pass coming with it. I think that's great because, this pass gives upgraded gems and things that'll make their characters feel powerful right away. Are they also going to be able to use the Power Pass as well to get into the endgame faster?
Exactly. The Power Pass and the Super Mokoko Hyper Express Pass will be available to the Jumpstart players as well as the players in legacy servers.
Awesome.
A feature that's coming in September is one that's near and dear to my heart. Yaz's Jar. I know players have been waiting for legendary skins from Yaz's Jar for a long time. When releasing Yaz's Jar, we wanted to make the system feel more fair and more accessible. And so I'm happy to announce that when you open Yaz's Jar, if you don't get the legendary skin component, you'll still get the epic skin component that's exclusive to the Yaz's Jar, as well as amethyst shards, which can be used to redeem for rewards in the Amethyst Shard shop. We'll be adding extra rewards to the Amethyst Shard shop, and if you're someone who engaged with Twitch drops, you're pretty familiar with the system already.
Yeah, so players actually have been asking for, an update to the Amethyst Shard shop. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. An update to the Amethyst Shard shop for a while. You mentioned that we were going to be adding new rewards to it. Can you talk a little bit about what some of those are and what they'll look like?
Yeah, so on top of the legendary mounts and the Fions and other good stuff that's already in there, we're going to be adding cosmetics that can be redeemed for Amethyst Shards, as well as silver and dyes and reagents for you to customize your skins. Those will actually be evergreen purchases, which means you can buy as many times as you like. So if you continue to pursue Yaz's Jar, you'll get amethyst that you can redeem infinitely for silver.
Awesome. That's super helpful because I know I'm going to be rolling for the Slayer skins now that I switch mains. So having some dyes to be able to customize it once I get it, that'll be pretty sweet.
We'll be getting Season 2 of Yaz's Jar, which is called Leap. So that does include the Slayer skin, which looks amazing. I'm personally very excited for the Paladin skin. I think that's one of the coolest skins I've ever seen in any game.
Yeah, and with the Aeromancer coming out on August 1st, by the time Yaz's Jar releases in September, that means the Aeromancer will also be included in that with her legendary skin, and it's really, really cute.
Yeah, the possibility of customizing it is limited. So you'll be really fascinated how cute that is with the dyeing kits, dyeing packs. So you're going to see it very soon, the details.
We all shared our favorite skin, Soomin. Do you have one that you're excited for?
I'm looking for the Aeromancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good taste. Good taste.
I'm currently playing the artist class now.
Okay.
But I'm always looking for the Aeromancer.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. And we know players have been very, very, very interested to know when Yaz's Jar is coming. So like Andy said, very near and dear to our hearts, and very glad to be able to announce that. No more Yaz's Jar when? Yaz's Jar September. Cool. Well, there are a few other pieces of content coming in September as well. One that's actually really near and dear to my heart is the new affection ranks for Thirain and Nineveh. So for these affection ranks, Thirain, the first one, is someone that you probably have grown very close to after helping him become the king of Lutera. Now that he's been the king for a while, he is actually getting ready to celebrate his coronation 1-year anniversary with a giant ball happening in Lutera. But he's secretly really stressed out about this, and while he's trying to put on a brave face, you might be the only person he's willing to open up to. Next up, we have Nineveh. Nineveh is someone I think we all know all she does is help others. She never really looks out for herself. She's always bright, positive, smiling, and her animal friends are planning on throwing her a party because she's so bright and cute, why wouldn't they? But something is happening, and she mysteriously collapses due to a chaotic force. Nineveh is finally ready to open up about her past and some of the more dark history she's experienced that you may not have heard of before. I'm really looking forward to getting to know these characters a little bit better at a closer level. These are affection ranks, so you will be, getting to know them on a little bit more of an intimate level, but that's also going to reveal a lot about their characters and personalities and a little bit about them that you maybe didn't know before. Don't look at me like that. I know you like Nineveh.
I think you deserved it, Roxx.
I know you like Nineveh.
I mean, yeah, I just want to be there for her after the traumatic events of Elgasia as well.
So in addition to those new affection ranks coming to the game, there's also a new surprise coming onto Primal Island. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about what players might find there?
Yeah, absolutely. We're adding a fun new mini game, which is something that players in Lost Ark haven't really experienced before, where we have a new Battle Royale game mode coming. Players that are 1490 or above can load into Primal Island and experience a new game mode where you have to scavenge for your gear, battle dinosaurs, and battle each other until there's one person left standing who's the winner.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. I know there's a lot of intensity in Lost Ark, but nothing quite like facing off against dinosaurs in a battle royale. I think that'll be a really unique experience.
Yeah, you can play it several times throughout the week, I think up to once a day, and increase your overall rank by your best placement. So some fun new PvP competition.
Is this more of a squad-based sort of thing, or are you on your own?
Everyone's on their own. It's a free-for-all.
Every man and dinosaur for themselves.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Primal Island.
Oh yeah.
Well, Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about what adventures were going on in October?
Yeah, absolutely. In October, we have a new continent coming to Lost Ark, which is Plechia, the continent of freedom, art, and romance. Players will be able to uncover some cool new storylines. The story picks up in Lutera, where they will then venture to this new continent and experience some familiar faces.
Armin.
Yeah. Encounter Sacrian priests and learn about the kind of secretive Vidice family, which inhabits Plechia. Players will need to be item level 1475 to start the story quest. And once the story quest is finished, there will still be some exciting collectibles, cool rewards, and other fun things that they can experience on the continent. And you will need to complete Plechia before Voldis, but we'll have a little bit more information on what that is soon.
Yeah, so when that comes in October, you're definitely going to want to dive in and explore that continent there
Yeah.
for various reasons. Spoilers for
I'm
later.
also excited with Plessia because that's the first story after Elgasia.
Yeah.
That's going to open the second chapter of the story, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the continent looks beautiful too. It's kind of a
I love
different
the series.
setting.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I've really been wondering what's happened to Armin. I feel like it's been a while since I've heard from him. I hope he's okay.
I guess we'll know soon.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah. And then in addition to Plechia, for players that are a little bit more on the competitive side rather than the story side, we have a new Trial Guardian coming, which is Kalilagos, the Master of Lightning Dragon. So similar to some of the previous Trial Guardian raids that we've had, players will be able to compete for the first clear in a region and then also the fastest clear time in general. So there's some cool vanity rewards, like a special title players can go for there and work to, have good teamwork and clear the raid as fast as possible.
Yeah, no, it's been a while since I've faced off against Carl, but coming back to it and definitely getting competitive about it might be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I haven't tried Acades yet, but I think I'm going to give it a go this time around with some friends.
Yeah, that could be fun. What about you, Andy? Do you think you're going to go for the Trial Guardian raid at all?
I'm not very good at Guardian raids, and I'm very, very far behind. But, I don't know. Sorry.
All right, well, I'm gatekeeping you from my team with that response. I'm just kidding.
Maybe the four of us should try and clear it as a quad and see what happens.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, apparently I didn't realize Soomin played support, so I think we could do it.
Yeah.
I don't do any damage, but
Yeah.
I got
Very
you.
fun. Yeah.
yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Cool. So it sounds like we have a really exciting October coming up. A couple things for us to do, a couple new adventures, a couple new challenges. And with that, we'll go ahead and start talking a little bit about November. Exciting piece of content for us to reveal. It's going to be our next class following Aeromancer for Lost Ark in the West.
Yeah, so in November we have the Soul Eater Advanced class coming. It's the next Assassin Advanced class. It wields an enormous scythe as its weapon, which is super cool. But that's not the only way you can attack enemies with it. You can also summon the dead or transform into a Reaper. I'm super excited for the class. I love playing all the Assassin classes. This one's no exception. It has some really unique mechanics. You can build up your identity gauge to transform into a Reaper. You fill up 3 soul stones and then can activate that whenever you want. There's a second identity gauge that fills up when you're transformed to let you further enhance your attacks and do some cool moves while in the Reaper form. So a lot of different cool attacks visually. I'm super excited. Like all the other classes, it will have 2 engravings to kind of change up the way that you play the class. The first one is the full moon engraving. And this one's built around really enhancing the Reaper mode and your playstyle when you're transformed. That's for the people that want to hit really big damage numbers in a cool burst window. So it's built around enhancing that playstyle. On the other hand, the Dark Moon actually completely takes away your Reaper transformation and makes you more powerful and allows you to use your identity gauge to enhance all of your other abilities when you're not transformed. So kind of two sides of the coin. We have the big burst window in the full moon engraving and kind of a constant uptime damage class focused around being fast and having powerful attacks all the time with the full moon.
Yeah, I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing that Soul Eater in game. The animations and the way the class plays just like looks really visually stunning too. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But what can players expect when it comes to Soomin? Anything to help them level up the new class quickly?
There will be another round of the Hyper Express. So we don't know which type of the Hyper Express coming yet, but there will be Hyper Express plus Power Pass to support the growth.
Awesome. That'll be super cool. That way players can hop in and fight a con and some of the other cool stuff right away.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely want to get those Soul Eaters leveled up and ready to go, so we'll be supporting there.
You gonna make one, Andy?
I do like my assassins, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to race you to gearing up that Soul Eater.
Oh, that'll be fun.
A
I'm down.
race. Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I think a few of my guild members started saving up materials as soon as they saw it announced in Korea. So I'm excited we get to bring it over in the next couple months.
Yeah, it's coming in pretty fast.
Yeah.
Some of these things you're hearing today with Full Moon, Dark Moon, Reaper, those are the terms we're using currently based off our kind of translations from Korea, but the class has not been fully localized. We're still doing some of that work, so some of those names you're hearing today might change slightly by the time it releases in November. Just keep that in mind. The functions, the form, all still going to act the same. That's what you can look forward to with the class. Just might sound a little bit different when it's finally in the game. And that's going to bring us right to the end of the year where we're going to round things out with our December releases. We have another new adventure that players are going to set off on following Algacia. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about where we'll be headed next?
Yeah, absolutely. So December is a new continent releasing, which includes a whole suite of new endgame activities and upgrades for players, and that is Voldus. To enter Voldus, you'll need to be item level 1520 to start the storyline. And you'll get to venture to kind of this fantastical land where you'll meet the Sages, which are an important new group of characters that live in the big city of Kalinar in Voldus. There you'll go to seek out some of their wisdom to help with the upcoming wars as the Chaos Guardians and other threats in Arcasia are growing ever more present. And you'll get to experience both the bustling city of Kalinar along with the lush rainforests as you uncover the secrets and listen to the advice of the sages in this foreign land. It's really cool visually and kind of a different tonal setting from a lot of the other continents in Arcasia. So super cool. There's cute homunculi that are floating around in the city, and a couple other fun things that players will get to experience. Once you complete the story, there's still fun things to do, all the normal stuff like Adventurer's Tome, collectibles, and cool things that you can keep working towards. But the big thing that Voldus will introduce is the next Abyssal Dungeon, which is a 4-player activity. It's called the Ivory Tower, and like Triangle, it will be 4 gates that players can progress through, fight, compelling, cool bosses, and earn a bunch of really cool rewards, gold, honing mats, all the normal stuff. So one of the really cool rewards that is earnable in the Ivory Tower Abyssal Dungeon is a new system called Elixirs, which are the next big power increase that players can experience in Lost Ark. It's a really cool system that kind of blends some strategic decision making along with a certain amount of luck, which is always important in Lost Ark. But the way it works is once you acquire an elixir through the Abyssal Dungeon, first of all, let me say there's 2 types. You can get epic ones from completing normal mode and legendary ones from completing hard mode. So once you acquire an elixir, you have to refine it. You can refine it by using a catalyst, which is a new item that you can earn in-game by purchasing it with gold and stones of chaos. And once you refine it, you'll be guided along a path where you'll have to make some strategic decisions and, like I said, also have a little bit of luck to succeed. Luckily, you'll be getting advice from some of the sages in Voldus while you're doing it. So you'll have a little bit of an in-game guide to help you make some of those decisions. And as you refine it, you can kind of choose which path to go on, which lets you unlock some really powerful offensive, defensive, and utility-based upgrades for your kit. Once you've gone through that refining process, you can then imbue your gear with the refined elixir onto your various armor pieces. And one thing that's really cool is mixing and matching some of those upgrades that you get through the elixirs, because when you're able to match some of the important effects, they further boost the effect and give you some really big crit rate increases or attack power increases or other options to really make your character feel more powerful. So that's pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I play Deathblade. I know Andy does too. So things like that crit rate make your surge feel a lot better, right?
You never have enough crit rate.
True. So yeah, it's a cool system. I think it'll be fun and also let players kind of make some cool decisions as they're looking to upgrade their gear.
So there's definitely a lot to do in Voldus. Is there anything else coming out in December that players should look out for?
There's almost a surprise. There will be one more season of Arc Pass starting from December.
Awesome. So yeah, not only will we have a new Arc Pass coming in September, but we'll also have an additional one in December. So a lot of Arc Pass for players to enjoy and gain rewards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to round out our content for the roadmap throughout the end of the year. We really enjoyed getting together and talking to you all about kind of what's coming, sharing a little bit of insight on some of these systems and details on what to expect. We hope you enjoyed it too, and we want to leave you with a community question. What part of the roadmap content are you most looking forward to experiencing? And with that, this was our first time doing a roadmap video like this and all getting together to talk to players. We want to know what you thought as well. Let us know what you enjoyed. If you want to see more like this, please like and subscribe, leave a comment on the video, and we would really appreciate it. As always, I'm Roxx. This is Henry, Soomin, and Andy. We were really glad to talk to you today, and we'll see you in Arcasia.